Firstly, I'm here to tell you that I've come up with this idea of doing Sunday snippets. So this is the first one of hopefully many. Sunday snippets will be just a video series to tell you about little bits of breastfeeding and mothering information, support, and experience, things I've come across, things I feel like it might be useful for you, useful for me to share, for you to hopefully learn from and take away with you. So today I'm going to start by talking about something probably approaching things from the wrong end. You might find it surprising that I start with toddler weaning. Those of you who got to the stage of nursing, breastfeeding your little ones into toddlerhood, firstly, huge credit to you. Well done, amazing, an amazing achievement. I meet many moms in my work who have struggled through the early stages of breastfeeding and finally got to a place where they can enjoy it and their little ones and themselves can enjoy it, and they'll probably then push past the next period when they get a lot of criticism and questioning and raised eyebrows, and they told about maybe their little ones being too old to breastfeed if they can walk and talk and ask for it, and how ridiculous is that? So and I know toddler feeding is not easy, so we could talk all day about all the challenges. I, in my volunteer capacity, support moms in face-to-face meeting settings and also in a WhatsApp group, and there is a real need for moms feeding beyond 1 year. Getting that community around themselves and feeling normal and feeling like they are held and supported and they're not alone, because they're doing some very important work and they're mothering in a very unique, special way. So if that's you, then well done, and again, be very proud of yourself, and I hope you've got some friends around you and a community around you to reach out to. And what I'm going to talk about today also is I have some book recommendations here. This week we had quite a lot of discussions on the WhatsApp group with moms about maybe partial weaning. It gets to the point where maybe you've had enough of feeding every time your little one asks for it. Things can go a bit upside down at this age, and say 1.5 years. So typically I've been talking to moms with 16-month-olds or thereabouts, and they feel like they need to put some limits in. So that's perfectly fine. You don't need to feed every time. You haven't got a newborn anymore. So obviously in the early stages, that's what we say, if in doubt, whip it out. Credit to Meg Nagel for that funny little saying. However, at this stage, you might have loads of other tools in your parenting toolkit, and if you don't, this is the time to pick those up. So I have some book recommendations, and I'm going to also talk to you about a workshop I'm running in a couple of weeks, so you could come to that. But some moms decide that maybe they start with night weaning, and that's a good place to start. It's not a good place to start for everybody. It's a good place to start for those who decide that maybe they want to give access to the breast in the daytime, but actually they need a bit more sleep and they feel like the little ones are ready for this. It's beyond the capacity of this video to go into detail about when is a good time, when isn't a good time. I might do a separate video about this, or come along to the workshop and then we can talk about this. In the meantime, this was one of my favorites, and I use it with my own children. Nurses When the Sun Shines. It's got beautiful illustrations, and the little kid learns that he or she will get access to the breast when the sun shines. So that's a good way of approaching it, and I think some of the moms in my group use the grow clocks very successfully, the clocks that change color, so then it's regardless of the season, because of course the sun might shine at 4 o'clock in the morning in the summer, or it might shine more like at 8 o'clock in the morning in the winter. So big variation. Another version of this is Milk is in the Morning. So these are written for children, and so you can read it together with your child. And I often hear mothers say that they're the ones that break down in tears when they read these books. I know that was me. It's very emotional. We think about weaning as in the early days we can't wait for them to wean and get their independence and get our own bodies back, but actually when it comes near to weaning, it's not always the way. In fact, quite often it isn't. And so if night weaning is successful, and we can talk about tips and tricks and strategies if you seek out support from your local group. It could be a La Leche League group, or it could be just a group of friends, or you can reach out to me and we can form a group where we can discuss weaning issues. You will find that there are practical strategies that you can employ. Old favorites, so I mentioned La Leche League. This one is published by La Leche League International, How Weaning Happens. So as you can see from the design, it's an old book. I don't know when it was published, 1999. However, it's an evergreen, and it breaks down weaning into ages and stages, and you can read lots of stories, lots of little, again, tips and ideas, and just feel less alone, because I think they go all the way up to the 5th year if you wean when they 1, if you wean when they 2, when they 3, when they 4, if you have to wean suddenly, feelings about weaning, and then of course further literature in there, pressure to wean. So how do you respond to society's pressure to wean? Nothing changes really. This book is 24 years old, and still we're asking the same questions. And again, another one, Mothering You Nursing Toddler. So if you need near Barnet, you can come along to La Leche League meetings here that are completely free, and I have a library, so you can actually borrow these books from the group. And then one of my big favorites when I was nursing a toddler, and I mentioned Meg Nagel earlier, she calls herself the Milk Meg, and she has a fantastic blog website, and this book is also on Kindle. It's called Boobing All Day, Boobing All Night, a little bit hard to read this font, but full of lovely pictures. Her sense of humor is next to none. She's got 4 boys herself who she breastfed, and she's an IBCLC, Australian IBCLC lactation consultant. And she has a very, very practical and funny approach to weaning little ones, or not weaning them, or continuing breastfeeding, just working out your own way. And I remember scrolling through my phone in the middle of the night during those long breastfeeds in the early days, and I had an older nursling, and she was the one that kept me going, and then she was also the one that gave me permission to reduce feeds or stop when that's necessary, or get help. How can you get help? And last but not least, how to talk so kids will listen. So I mentioned earlier that at this stage, breastfeeding is not your only tool to parenting your child, and I often see mothers feeling a little bit lost because it has been their go-to strategy if their little ones fell over, if they had an illness, if they were sad for any reason, if they were hungry. The breast is always there, it's always the right temperature, it's always nutritious, we know all that. So how can you then transition into being a parent and being there and holding your child, but without always giving the breast? You might obviously still want to keep some breastfeeds. How can you put some limits in? So this is not focused on breastfeeding. This is a general parenting book, and there's a whole series of how to talk books, so you might want to look them up. And again, it's a very practical approach. You can start reading it. This is how to talk so little kids will listen, and I think they recommend it from this 3rd year of life. But actually, it's never too early. It's never too early to read them. It's a very sweet, cartoony, kind of digested version of a parenting book. So it's not heavy, it's not thick, it's not wordy. They mention scenarios and common scenarios and how you might tackle this instinctively, and how might be a better way to tackle it in a way that's friendly to the child but also to the parent. So you can really learn some long-term strategies from here that will keep you going through childhood, parenthood, not just in the baby stages or weaning stages. So I did talk a lot. I promised to tell you something about this workshop I'm running This is in collaboration with Lucy Ruddle, the amazing Lucy Ruddle. And so I'm running it on her platform, so you can book the workshop that's running on the 14th of October. Can't believe it's October already. So 14, if you got this far, thank you for listening. And you can join a live workshop on the 14th of October, which is a Saturday, not next weekend, the weekend after. And it's quite an early start, 9:30 in the morning. So you can watch this before you go out for the day, or you can receive the recording if you can't make it live. Generally an hour and a half long. And I do a presentation about toddler nursing, and then there is a Q&A. You can also ask questions during the session, so you don't need to wait to the end. So it's a very informal session that you can bring your little ones to, bring your partners to, and we talk about everything toddler nursing. So it's a Zoom call, it's a virtual session, so wherever you are in the country, you can join us. And I will pop a booking link in the comments, or you can seek out Lucy Ruddle's profile and you can book from there, Lucy Ruddle IBCLC. I think that's all there is to say for today. I hope my Sunday snippets won't always be quite so long, because it's more than a snippet. Here we are, nearly at 12 minutes. But I hope you got something out of it. Any questions, pop them in the comments, write to me, and reach out in any way you see fit. Happy nursing and happy Sunday. And yeah, any comments welcome, any feedback welcome. Take care all. Bye bye.